Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. 2014 was another big year for news, and Southwest TV News was there covering those stories from across Southwest Saskatchewan. On today's show, we take a look back at some of the top stories of 2014.
Hi, I'm Carol Andrews, and welcome to the special episode of Southwest TV News as we continue on with our countdown of the top 10 stories of 2014. In at number 5, it's been a story in the making for 70 years as an East End soldier finally returned home in August.
The community of East End was in the spotlight on Wednesday as one of its residents finally came home.
Guard, to the fallen.
Over 100 guests joined family and friends from around the world for a ceremony steeped in military tradition to honor Private First Class Lawrence Gordon. A celebration of life which unveiled the story of how Private First Class Gordon grew up around East End and later worked in Wyoming before joining the U.S. Army. In 1944, he went missing and was presumed dead after a battle in France. His body never surfaced, and his whereabouts remained a mystery. However, through the persistence of his family and a long investigation with various international sources and DNA records, it was later discovered that Gordon was buried in a German war cemetery in France. And now, 70 years later, this Southwest soldier has finally come home, led by an RCMP motorcade, which included over 50 motorcyclists from across the U.S. One by one, Canadians and Americans pay tribute to Private First Class Gordon, a long-awaited dream of family members.
No one in the family had ever been to his grave. We thought there was a grave in Europe, so I said to my father that when I had the time and the money, I would visit Europe and I would visit his grave. And of course, whenever I visited France in 2000, I found out that his name was on the wall of the missing and there wasn't a grave. And that's the first time I knew that he was missing in action. And quite frankly, I thought that I would never find him.
The family of Private First Class Gordon was presented numerous mementos, including the Purple Heart, the Good Conduct Medal, and the Gold Star family lapel pin.
We recognize that their family has gone above and beyond the sacrifice of the other military families. It's always an honor to even meet a Gold Star family, and we try to do whatever we can for the Gold Star families.
After 70 years, Private First Class Gordon has returned home to the picturesque hills he once roamed as a young man, while reuniting his family.
Our number 4 story of 2014 kicks off a year-long celebration for the city of Swift Current. It's the Centennial Extravaganza.
Months of planning and behind-the-scenes work recently came into the spotlight as the city of Swift Current kicked off its centennial year. Volunteers from various organizations lent their expertise to the extravaganza at the iPlex on January 15th. Over a series of days, the iPlex was transformed into the host venue for the event, from the Centennial historic displays to on-stage performances. Hugh Henry and his crew brought in an array of photos and other memorabilia for the decade's displays, a showcase which he's accustomed to doing from his previous work at the Swift Current Museum.
I'm not feeling any pressure at all. I guess, with my background, I'm used to these sorts of things, planning exhibits and staging them and so on. And the final analysis, I guess, the approval by the people come and look at the exhibits that, they're engaged and they're happy and that's sort of the final kudos if everything goes according to plan and everyone's happy with results.
The arts community also came together for an array of theatrical performances for the extravaganza. And following a series of rehearsals, the crew was also striving towards one goal.
I think that it's nice to have a wide variety of people working together to give a quick historical look at Swift Current's past, and I really like the idea that people will be able to come and see not only the stage stories of history, but also go more in depth with the booth aspect and really learn the more subtle stories within our history.
And once the official day arrived at the city centennial, a crowd of approximately 3,000 made their way through the iPlex for the extravaganza. An event which had something for the entire family, from children's games, exhibits, to souvenir booths. And as the guests walked through the decades of memorabilia which adorn the walls and were played through the videos on display, many were pleased to recognize a family connection.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I had this picture at home and I kind of went, holy geez, that's my great-grandpa. Yeah, like that's amazing. He was back here, he worked on the 76 ranch and stuff, and all the old pictures are just so nice. I'm so into this, so it's gonna be cool.
This picture here, my sister-in-law used to work in this little restaurant here for quite a few years, and then my brother-in-law was the barber in this little barber shop that was in the Healy here.
As the festivities continued throughout the evening, the crowd was taken back through the various stages of Swift Current's history, from its Aboriginal roots, various decades of music and culture, to the newcomers who continue to call Swift Current home. Premier Brad Wall and the MLA for Swift Current was back in his home riding to extend his greetings on the city's centennial.
I was born and raised here, and the city has given a lot to me, from the education system to, lifelong friends, and it really was a bit of a platform, gave everything I needed in terms of a platform to be able to have some dreams come true that I maybe never would have expected might come true. So this is my hometown, and it's a proud night for the whole community, I think, but it's great to be here.
The evening was also a homecoming for many, as former Mayor Paul Elder joined in the festivities. Elder, who spent 18 years on city council, including 9 as mayor, was impressed with the growth of the city and was proud to have played a role in the community's overall history.
Today was just so wonderful, driving around and seeing all of these things that we put in place, like the plans for a new hospital that I spent tons and tons of time out in the municipalities in southwest Saskatchewan raising funds for. And to drive up to that hospital and the new schools and just everything, all of the commercial environment, this place is thriving.
And now that the official launching of the city centennial has taken place, the celebration will continue in the coming months.
Yeah, certainly there's the homecoming at the end of June. It's being planned in conjunction with Frontier Days. And certainly Frontier Days is a very historic part of our community. And that's a time where we're inviting people to come back to Swift Current. And we're so much looking forward to seeing our kids who have left, seeing our friends who have left, other members of our community that we're fond of, and reconnecting with them around an event like this.
The final of 3 major events coinciding with Swift Current Centennial will take place in late November in partnership with the DBA and the Christmas tree lighting. More details on Swift Current Centennial, registration for the homecoming weekend, and a showcase of various Centennial videos are all available online.
What can you do to brighten a person's day?
How would you feel doing something good for a person in need?
What if a single thought could change a person's life?
What can you do to make someone's life better?
Helping others is the greatest gift we can give. Give for good.
To say thank you and to spread some Christmas cheer, our classroom will be making and delivering thank you cards for community workers in our city, including police, fire, and EMS workers.
We are spreading Christmas cheer around our community to remind others that people care about them.
Fundraise for money with a bake sale, selling bracelets and lemonade, but we have some other stuff we can do to help out too.
We'll hand the money to the ABS-CBN and Network Channel 2 in the Philippines, so they can give the money to the Philippines.
And we're going to give food and books to the safe shelter.
We're doing a dodgeball for our event, a tournament, so it's all for the classes in middle years, so anyone can join. All the money that we get towards the dodgeball tournament is going to the Foundation of Kids Sport.
It makes me feel good because I'm doing something for other people around the world.
It's kind of showing compassion and just helping other people out.
If people are in other countries and fighting war and stuff, they can have a chance to play a sport and have a lot of fun.
Because we all carry an invisible bucket, and if we be nice to each other, we'll all fill each other's buckets. And if we be mean to other people, we won't fill other people's buckets, and it will dump yours too.
You've heard how we plan to give for good.
Now it's your turn. What will you do?
What will you do?
What will you do?
Wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the management and staff of Stoop Pharmacy in Leader. Wishing the citizens of Swift Current the very best this holiday season and into the new year from Mayor Schaefer, City Council, and staff of the City of Swift Current. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Gus, Louie, and George at the K Steakhouse and Motel. Book your Christmas party or New Year's celebration today.